Samir Hingoo from the Secretary PEATA India to please join us on the stage. He would be throwing light on development and designation, reservations, amenities and facilities, conversion of I to RC, and inclusive housing. Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause for Shri Samir Hingoo.
My name is Samir Hingoo. I welcome you all here. I will be dealing with part 3 of the regulation, land use and manner of development. Next. Now what is part 3? Part 3 consists of development stipulations, amenities and facilities, inclusive housing and road widening. Next. First we'll deal with development stipulations and we'll cover what is designation. Designations means a public amenity provided or aided by an appropriate authority on a parcel of land. So designation means existing जो भी है, theatre है, whatever amenities is there on site, that is designated. Now to develop this kind of designated property, we have certain stipulations. So the first stipulation for development of designation is built-up area of existing designations plus built-up area as per the regulation. Development of reservation will be as per regulation 17, table 3, 4 and 5, which will be covered on later in the seminar. Development of land partly designated and reserved. Development of amenity plot. Plot shall be exclusively used for public purpose but not for accommodation reservation. So if you want to develop an amenity plot, these are the certain restrictions that are put in place. Combination of public purpose and reservation of multiple public purposes is now allowed without prior approval of government, so MC can do that. Area of reserved land. Area of DP reservation will be calculated after deduction of all road setbacks. Shifting or interchanging of designation reservation is permissible with the consent of owner. Art and culture, this is a newly added clause which I think is borrowed from foreign countries. Temporary use of public open space for limited period of time for vendors. Now, and temporary vending zones are also allowed in public parking lots. Now, only fear is this temporary should not turn into a permanent vending zone. So, we have to take care of that. Amenities and facilities. If you want to develop an plot above 4,000 square meters, then 5% amenity is required to be given. Now this amenity of, go to the next one. Okay, if you want to develop an amenity then which is beyond 4,000 up to 10,000, then 5% of amenities to be given. And if your plot area is more than 10,000 square meters, then 10% amenity is given, has to be given. Next. Next please. Now, if you want to develop an amenity, there are certain conditions. Conditions if reservation as per DPR proposed, and if your amenity is less than what is required, then you will have to provide what has to be given. No additional area is required if your amenity is more. Such amenity area shall not be deducted from plot. So, as Manoj Bhai said that everything is given on gross plot. Your plot area is less, but your FSI is more. So, your FSI will not be deducted once you use the amenity areas. Next. I mean, these areas will be in addition to the recreational open space that is required as per regulation 27. Amenity open space, there are certain restrictions that the minimum width of amenity open space should be 7.5 and the length of that should not be more than 2.5 times the width. Next. Now we go on to the conversion from I to R or I to C. If your industry is closed, then NOC from Labour Commissioner is compulsory. If your land is open and if you want to convert a residential or commercial building, then NOC from Labour Commissioner is not required. And if land under such conversions admeasures less than 2000 square meters, then 5% of built-up area is to be given. If it is more than 2000 square meters, less than 2 hectares, then 10%. And similarly, we have to provide the amenity area as per the plot. Next. Amenity area will be in addition to the ROS. Amenity provided automatically becomes a DP reservation. Public utility and amenity plots shall not be developed under accommodation reservation. So this is a restriction there. Next. I have given a area calculation for a plot of 5000 square meters. If your plot is 5000 square meters and FSI permissible here is 2, built up area will be 10,000 square meter plus fungible if it is commercial 20%, residential 25%. Required amenity shall be 10%, that is 500 square meter, which is not deducted from FSI. So you get over full FSI, but you get less amount of land to develop. Next. We now go on to inclusive housing with respect to plot area. So if your plot is more than 4000 square meters, then 20% of plot area has to be given to MCGM. Plot shall be handed over to MCGM within 12 months after the approval. PRC in name of MCGM before OC2 first building. So these are certain conditions if you want to give your plot but not develop it by the developers. Next. Again, with respect to plot area, MCGM shall propose scheme having carpet area between 27 to 40. This is not interest to us. In case of owner developer opts to utilize the FSI on remainder plot, there is some formula which will be covered in next slide. Next. So if I have a plot areas of 5000 square meter in Daisar, then 20% of plot area is to be handed over. So 1000 square meter goes to MCGM. 500 square meter I am utilizing on my remainder plot. And if I am not able to consume 500 square meter, then I get that 500 square meter TDR. Now, if I use it in say some space where ready reckoner rate is lower than my plot, then the TDR area decreases. So, if a generating plot is Daisar, and if I want to transfer the area which is not utilized to Goregaon, then 500 square meter of area becomes around 158 square meter. That is again a vice versa. From Goregaon, if you go to Daisar, then the area will increase. Next. Now this is with respect to built up area. Owner can propose tenements in separate wing building to an extent of 20% of zonal FSI. So composite building is not allowed like we used to do in SRA. You have to have a separate wing or a building. OC2 sale component always is after OC2 IS tenements. This is all related. So if you want to develop an inclusive housing, then you have to develop and get OC of the inclusive housing building. Then only the OC2 the sale component will be released. Again, this is the formula. If receiving plot, IS tenements can be provided at other locations, but in same ward. So as this is a clubbing scheme, but within the ward. If you want to club an area of 20% of inclusive housing to another ward with ready reckoner rate of lower say value, then 1000 square meter of built up area will be converted to 1100. So you have to give 1100 built up area if the ready reckoner rate of that receiving plot is less. Next. Owner developer to obtain OC that I told you, 20% to be to PAP preferably in same ward, 80% to be sold in EWS LIG in open market, and money is to be used for implementation of DP. Next. Now we go for notes. Permissible built up area plus inclusive housing built up area allowed for the scheme. So you get over and above what you give to the MCGM. can be adjusted in lieu of TDR. You can transfer the area. CC to be released proportionate to inclusive housing. I think this formula is applied in SRA also. For arriving at number of highest tenement, carpet to built-up area ratio is always 1.2. Amalgamation of highest plot and highest tenement is not allowed. So if you want to amalgamate, say, inclusive housing plot and built-up area of inclusive housing, then that is not allowed. Next. Road winding, this is what we all asked for. Permissible built-up area is always on the gross plot. PRC of setback area in name of MCGM before 50% of CC will be released. Additional built-up area over permissible built-up area for land surrender, except SRA, MADA proposals and certain specified regulations. So you will get overall 2 FSI plus fungible FSI plus whatever area of land which is surrendered for road. Thank you.